What's up guys, it's Matt from TDM Style here and welcome back for another review video, and today we're having a look at the water-based pomade from Concept Hair Creations. So, just some real quick info about the brand. Concept Hair Creations is a pretty new brand. They're a small startup, and they started with just this pomade, and I did notice that recently they added a couple more products to their site. They also now have a matte version of the pomade, as well as a face scrub, a comb, and a brush. But today we're just here to talk about their flagship product, which is this pomade that's said to have a firm, flexible hold with a semi-shine finish. Starting out with the packaging, you can see here that it comes in this white and black 3.3 fluid ounce or 100 ml plastic jar. And we've got sticker labeling both on the lid as well as around the sides. So if we take a quick look around the side labeling, we've got the ingredients list, made in the USA and not animal tested on one side. And then around the other side, we've got firm, flexible hold, texturizing pomade. And we've got a little bit about the pomade there. We've got the directions on how to use it, and it does also say hold factor, strong, and then they've got kind of a scale there, so they're rating it at a hold level of 10 out of 15. So I think the packaging is fine. It doesn't blow me away or anything, but I'm always a fan of the kind of black and white minimalist looking stuff, so that kind of hits the mark here. All right, next up is scent, so let's open this up. And now it does say on their website that this has like an addictively amazing scent. And in some of the written reviews on the site, there are a lot of people kind of raving about how good it smells. And it does smell good. Is it the most amazing thing I've ever smelled? No. It's a cologne scent, but it is on the lighter side, so it's not anything like overpowering. But what I will say that I really do like about it is that, you know, a lot of water-based pomades tend to have kind of like a chemical-y smell to them, and that is not the case here. This just straight up smells like their fragrance. Yeah, and it's just a nice cologne scent. It's not too like axey, like, you know, I hate that like fuckboy axe smell. That is not the case here. This is a nice cologne scent, and as I mentioned, it's not too overpowering, so if you do typically wear another fragrance, it won't really clash with that, although I do get a whiff of it here and there throughout the day. All right, next we can take a quick look at the ingredients list. So you will see some things you'll recognize here. We've got obviously water in the first spot. Then we've got a couple other compounds that you see in a lot of hair products, especially pomades like Cedareth 20, whatever this one is I can't pronounce, polyvinyl pyrrolidone something, I don't know. There's hydrogenated castor oil in there and some beeswax, which those are, you know, pretty much base ingredients for many, many hair products. We've got a little bit of glycerin, a couple more compounds that I can't pronounce, and then fragrance in the last spot. All right, now let's go ahead and open up the jar and take a look at the scoop and the breakdown. Taking your first look inside, you will see something very familiar to you if you've used other water-based or gel-type pomades. So we've got a product that's mostly clear, and it does scoop out as you would expect for a gel type. It's soft, yet a little bit firm. It's pretty thick, and it breaks down in the hands very smooth, once again, like you would expect for a gel type. What's interesting here, though, is that they're calling this a firm, flexible hold, and they are saying that it does stay pliable throughout the day, which is something more characteristic of an unorthodox water base, which, you know, those we're used to seeing them look a bit more like a cream. So with all that in mind, let's move over to the demo footage and see how it actually applies to my hair, whether or not it stays pliable, and just how it holds up throughout the day. Now the directions do say that it can be applied to either dry or wet hair, so I'm just going in with clean dry hair here just because that's my preferred styling method. And, you know, because I really need to blow dry my hair first to get the waves out and just get it into the shape that I want. And when I apply stuff into damp hair, it just doesn't work and my style just looks like shit. So as you can see here, this does apply very easily into dry hair. I have no tug or pull issues whatsoever. It goes in nice and slick. You can easily get a comb through it or your fingers. And it does start out with what I would consider like a pretty low, maybe teetering on the edge of medium shine. Although as you can see, after about 15 minutes here when the product totally sets, that shine does drop back to, you know, I like that they call it a semi-shine, or maybe like a natural shine finish you could call it. Now there definitely is also a bit of firming up here, which I totally expect from water-based pomades. Now I will say that this does not firm up nearly as much as some of the other water-based or gel-type pomades that I've used. It's just a slight amount of hardening. It definitely doesn't turn your hair into a rock or anything like that. Alright, so now let's take a look at the end of the day. So here we are after a full 8-hour long day, and as you can see, it actually does have pliability to it. You can get your hands in there and reshape it, you can move it, and it will hold that shape. And while we're on the topic of hold, it definitely does have a strong hold. It's not anything super extreme, but really, if you don't touch your hair, it'll stay in place all day long with no issue. So for me, as somebody with a thick, sometimes hard to control hair type, I definitely do consider this product to be a solid, strong hold. And I think it is pretty smart that they called it a firm, flexible hold, because it is a little bit of both. As I mentioned, it does have that little bit of firming up in your hair, and it is a strong hold, so firm I think is a good term for that, but it is actually flexible, and it does stay pliable, and you can reshape it throughout the day. What I will mention though is that, you know, it's a water-based pomade at the end of the day, so I found that the more that you mess with it and the more that you try to reshape and, you know, restyle it, it will lose a bit of its shine and it will lose a little bit of its hold, although not much. And now we can talk about price, and really, this is one of those products that I think it's hard to beat the price on this. This comes in at $15 US for this 3.3 ounce jar, and actually right now on their website, they're doing like a 30% off promotional sale, so this is like $10.49 right now for this massive jar. Now they do also ship worldwide, so you can get this stuff anywhere, and of course that will make the price of it differ based on where you live and import taxes and all that. Alright, lastly, we can quickly mention the washout, and they do say on the side of the jar, this does say it washes out thoroughly with water, and that's absolutely true. This will come straight out of your hair, no bother at all, with just a warm water rinse. Alright, so overall thoughts on the Concept Creations water-based pomade. I like it. You know, I'm not a big pomade guy. You guys know that, whether it's water or oil-based or unorthodox or what have you. I'm not super into the pomade market. I'm getting a little more into them recently because as a person with coarse, thick hair, that's sometimes very difficult to apply, you know, matte products. I am appreciating the slickness of pomades. And with this particular one, I definitely like this more than other gel type or water-based pomades that I've used, simply because it doesn't like totally turn into a rock in your hair. It firms up a little bit, but it does maintain that pliability, and it doesn't have a super high shine. I like the lower shine products because it makes your hair look nice. It does add that little bit of kind of, I guess, more formal, slick look to it, but it's nothing over the top. It doesn't make your hair look oily or greasy or anything like that. And it doesn't get oilier as the day goes on, so at the end of the day, you're not gonna look like a grease ball or anything, which I appreciate as well. Packaging is fine. The scent is nice. You know, like I said, I don't think it's the most amazing or original scent that I've ever smelled in my entire life, but it is a nice cologne scent, and to me it's almost like what you would expect a traditional pomade to smell like, if that makes any sense. And, you know, I think the price is right. I mean, 15 bucks for about 3.5 ounces of product, I think is right on the money for something of this quality. So I think all in all, if you're in the market for a kind of unorthodox water-based pomade, it's definitely worth a try, and I am looking forward to trying their other products as they release more into their line. So that does it for today's review, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button down below to keep up to date with all the upcoming content, because I have a fuckload of it. I mean, I'm like really behind. I have a ton of products to test out still. As I mentioned, I've got some upcoming products from the salon guy that I've been testing, doing a video on that. I've got the Dyson hairdryer to review. I've got all kinds of stuff coming. So if you haven't already subscribed, definitely do so down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for coming by and watching, and we'll see you at the next one.